All right, example 2 for notes for 2-3. Here we have three numbers being multiplied, or three fractions, three rational numbers being multiplied. Remember, our rules only work for two at a time. So here, when I have a negative times a negative, that's going to turn into a positive, and then a positive times a positive is going to be a positive. So I know in the back of my head here that my final answer should be positive. Negative times the negative equals a positive, and then positive times the positive equals a positive. All right, so let's start with those first two fractions, 8/3, -8/3, and -27/45. Do I have any cross-canceling I can do there? Yeah, definitely. The 3 and the 27 are definitely pieces that can be simplified. 3 goes into 3, and 27 also goes into 3. So 8 and 45, though, that doesn't work because 8 times 5 is 40, and 8 times 6 is 48. So 45 isn't a nice number there. So I'm keeping my -8 on the top. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And my 45 stays. And I'm just going to carry down that 5/16. So now here, you might be recognizing that I can do some canceling in the other direction. I looked at those first two fractions, but what about the second fraction and the third fraction? Is there any cross-canceling I can do here? And actually there is. I can take that 5 divided by 5 and take that 45 and divide it by 5. So that's going to leave me with, my first fraction is still going to stay the same. I'm not doing anything with that first fraction. But my second fraction is where things are going to change a little bit. 45 divided by 5, you're using your calculator if you're not sure of that, and that is a 9. Parenthesis, parenthesis, 5 divided by 5 on the top is a 1. 16 and 9. Oh, don't forget your negative. That's a really good example of why we want to do those negative things at the top, because I almost forgot my negative there. All right, well, let's do some simplifying here. This middle fraction can actually be simplified itself. Remember, what operation does a fraction bar mean? Division, right? Those fraction bars just mean division. So what is -9 divided by 9? Well, that whole fraction is just a -1. So, -8, because actually -8 divided by 1 is just -8, times -1 times 1/16. And remember, I can keep these pieces over 1 also. I'm running out of room. I'm going to bring this over here. So then, multiply straight across. -8 times -1 is a +8 times 1 is still a +8. And now on the bottom, 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 16 is 16. So now final answer there, it is positive just like I said it would be in the beginning. Now we just got to check for some simplifying. Both 8 and 16 are actually divisible by 8. Leaving you with 1/2 is your final answer. Do make sure you're simplifying and checking for that cross-canceling, because 8 times 27 is going to be a ginormous number, times 5 more. No one wants to deal with those kind of numbers.